What's going on, y'all? We are live. I am still playing with this StreamYard software. I want to try to get things right. So I'm just trying to see one, is this going to work out right before I make the next move on what I'm going to do with it? And then two, chat with you guys for a bit. So we'll see if the notifications go out for one. And I think they are going out. So what's going on, Robert? Appreciate you joining in. Trying to test this out, some of this live stuff, to see how this goes. For appreciate you joining. We're just gonna chat for a little bit about UFOs and stuff. Yo, what's going on? Appreciate you guys joining in. Video and sound is working fine. Appreciate that. Yeah, I got this is an old computer, so it's probably not gonna be the best in the world for stuff, but um I'm working on changing this out. I just wanted to test this as well. So I wanted to get on here and chat with you guys for just a bit if you guys want to chat UFO stuff. I know there's a couple of things that I've put out recently, and I don't show my face that much, but I will start in the future with stuff. I know I kind of mention this whenever I go live to kind of improve things and stuff, but we're going to be doing this going fine. Yeah, it works for now. The biggest thing now is just to talk with you guys and see what's going on. I see several of you guys are joining in, so I do appreciate y'all joining in. You know, what's going on, Ryan? Finishing a new, oh, okay. Has anyone else here seen one before? I have seen them before. I actually saw them maybe a couple of weeks ago. They just flashed through the sky real quick, and they're so quick that you don't have time. I've got a couple of video clips that I'll be showing to you guys at some point, to where there's a lot of news cameras that are filming the outside, and you see something fly by, and even the news people that are talking mention it. So I just have yet to get those together, just because of some of the stuff that can appear on YouTube, like copyrights and all that stuff. And just trying to make sure that we get that settled and get that settled right. So I'm going to try to post up all you guys' comments too, because I'm on here to talk to y'all so we can talk to each other about this. I know that there's one thing I did want to mention while I'm live on here, was that some people are kind of controversial, some of the stuff I put out there. They say I'm trying to put out disinformation and all that, which you guys know I'm not. Some of the stuff I find and I put out and I want your comments on, like the one I put out yesterday about the TR6 or whatever. We saw that video from that guy filming it in Texas. We weren't 100% sure. We only saw so much of it. You would think that somebody who filmed that would have filmed the whole thing. We'd have a lot more video clips to it, but I put it out there for you guys to see it. And from that point, someone else contacted me about that TR6, and I said, well, that's pretty interesting. So I went ahead and put that out there. I just did a little research and found one or two sites, and that's the main site I put out there. Of course, there was no physical photo of it, but I wanted to get you guys' opinion for it. So some people weren't too happy that I guess I did that. They said I was trying to put out disinformation, which you guys know I'm not. But a lot of times I want you guys to kind of see what's going on. But anyway, Chris on here says he's seen one back in 2015. So you guys will be doing a lot of typing, and I'll put it up and then we'll read it off. So I got lucky in 2008, seen one with 7 friends, but camera phones weren't good back then. Yeah, that seems to be the case with a lot of stuff. There's a video clip. I can't remember. I think it was in Southern California where the guy was out with his friend. His friend was in there cutting up some wood, and he saw a UFO. And I put that video on my channel about a year and a half ago when I started this channel. And you see the craft like this, and then it flops, and then it flies out. It just flies completely straight up out the sky. And it was on a Nokia phone, a flip phone, and it was blurry and distorted. That's why I have that software. And I'm also kind of doing this as a test pilot. So when I test this software I'm going to be getting, to see how much it clears up even this video I'm doing here, because I'd love to pull that in and clear up some of these images and stuff that we have. So that's going to be an interesting, controversial video when I do that. I know it can distort it somewhat and kind of make up what it thinks is going to be there, but I think it's going to be good to get some clearer photos and videos of these UFOs. So yeah, it's several good videos out there. I think the biggest thing about some of these videos is just that getting it out and just getting them out there. And some of them are blurry. We're still getting, some blurry footage, or we're still getting footage, but now people are not coming forward like the one from the guy in Texas. Why didn't you come forward? And of course, it's easier to fake some of this stuff, but I think that we are somewhat to the point now where we can tell kind of real stuff from fake stuff just based on people's reactions. There's a video clip or two that I have that I want to put out there and show to you guys. I wish I could share it on this computer, but I don't have anything on this one. People's reactions to it. You can hear them reacting and stuff. So Dragonheart said, I've seen 2 at night and 1 during the day. And they probably came out to where you weren't able to see. I mean, they probably just flashed up. I mean, it's such a sudden thing that when you see one, last thing you think about is grabbing your cell phone. I mean, if you can, you're kind of in a panic. And I don't care who you are, you're probably going to see somebody like, whoa, what is that? And the last thing you think about is like walking somewhere and seeing a big bug go across the ground or something. It kind of startles you. So looking over hell says, I saw the big triangle craft flying low and slow about 200 meters. It's massive. Red, green, and white lights on the tips and big light in the middle. No noise. Fit thousands of people in it. And I've heard about this. I mean, we all know about the Belgian wave and all that. With what they saw there, it's so interesting that these craft fly, and it flies low enough for people to see it, and they're silent. There could be one hovering over us right now. And we wouldn't even know it unless we went out there and kind of just looked at it. There's some night vision goggles that I've seen a couple people talk about. I even think Tyler on Secure Team was talking about that. He had got some or something, but he kind of faded away a little bit. But but there's stuff out there for that. So I don't know about the night vision goggles. It's going to be hard to get those goggles and then try to record something through those goggles. I don't know how that would work either if I had some night vision goggles and I was going to try to record that. Trying to make sure I go through these comments. I'm kind of testing this StreamYard again. They've got a feature on here to share the screen, but I don't know where it's at. This is just one of the trial versions before I dive into this. I have another computer I'm going to use. It's got a lot better camera than this one. This one looks like kind of Max Headroom from the 80s or something like that, if you guys remember that. So someone else seen a massive triangle. I've never seen a triangle. I've always seen, so usually been at night. I told you guys I saw that one years ago where it looked like it just came out of the clouds, like the clouds was warping around something as it came out the clouds, and then it went back over the clouds. It was completely invisible just about, but the clouds did, like if you took a cup of water, put some sprinkles on it and stared it, and that's how the clouds were going around something, and then it kind of dissipated back up. I don't know what that was, but you couldn't see the craft, but you could see the clouds moving. I thought that was interesting. Now, I've never heard of any anomalies or anything happening like that, so I'm trying to see, is this live on here? It's not showing live on the YouTube, but it's showing live here. He saw his in Western Australia. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think when Unsolved Mysteries did that on the Belgian wave, when they talked about those lights on the 3 corners of the triangle, it was said that one person that saw it said all 3 of the lights from each one of the corners came into the center. Like it was just one light. It came into the center part of it. And that's when the craft shot off. Now, I don't know if that's part of the propulsion system where you got this, try to put this up a triangular object and then the lights are on each side to make it stable. And then they come into the center and they jet it up. I don't know. I've also heard that these triangular shaped objects was that they built a cylinder or a circular craft like this, and then they built the triangle around the craft. Why they did that, I don't know, but I've heard about that too. So I don't know how true that is with that, but that's just reading forums and hearing people talk about, the structure of a lot of those triangles or triangular shaped UFOs and why they're so huge and massive, what they got inside of it, I have no idea. So millions of people see Russian MiGs flying around, something is up. Millions of people see UFOs flying around, nothing to it. Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, it's like, it'd be like doing an AI video, completely AI, and people still falling for it and millions of views on it. It's kind of interesting how we function just as people on a day-to-day basis. So I did not see that we saw it bank and then shoot straight out of the space. It moved so fast. So the lights or anything didn't go in. So that could be something different. Um, it's so interesting that we got so many different things out here. And I know some people don't believe Bob Lazar, but I have a video coming up. It's either the 3 or 5 things I believe about Bob Lazar. He did talk about when he went to Area 51, he did see hangar bays doors open, and he saw 9 different shaped craft in there, and they were all different shapes. I did put a video up last week, and I put some shorts up that talked about some craft that actually transformed or morphed into different shapes and stuff. But the one Bob saw, or the ones Bob saw, he said that they were all different shapes. So that was pretty interesting to see that, or to hear him talk about that. That one had a shape like a top hat. He said one looked like one of the Jello molds. You know, when you make a Jello in a particular type of shape, he said one looked like that. He said one was even turned up on its side, like they try to shoot a projectile or something through it. So why these are different shapes and stuff, I don't know, but it's very interesting to know that if people are seeing different shaped UFOs, someone else is seeing them. Bob reported in the 90s with that, or 89 when he talked about that. So, oh, appreciate that, man. Yeah, the RC stuff is very interesting and politically controversial, but it is what it is with that. But appreciate you joining both my channels. So you guys don't know, I do have 2 channels. I got an RC channel and I have this channel. I was doing this stuff on the RC channel, and I probably should have kept it over there and just started a new RC channel because for some reason YouTube promoted the videos more when they were on the RC channel. It's very interesting. And then there was some controversy with some users and stuff, so I had to start a new channel. But I probably should have just kept all the UFO stuff over there because it was reaching a broader audience. I mean, the videos I put out there were in the 10, 15, 20,000 views. I mean, the shorts that I put out there, I got a short out there right now on the RC channel that's got almost 1 million views, and it's on an RC channel. It's not even on this channel. So I don't know if they just don't like the name of this channel or what's going on, because I try to replicate that same process procedure, and it's nothing. I don't get that at all. But I'm going to keep this channel going and keep pushing, even though I get kind of frustrated at times, but I'll keep this going. But very interesting what happened with the RC channel when I did some of this stuff over there. So, for instance, have you done any investigation into the massive object just detect? No, I have not. I'll have to look that up. I know they're always detecting massive objects out there, and then they don't tell us about it, and then it's later on, and it's so interesting. Or somehow the object will be heading towards Earth, and then it just changes direction. They said, well, because of the gravitational pull of this and that. And I still 100% don't believe in what they're telling us about, you know, our solar system, the 9 planets. I believe there's more out there to that. It's very interesting. I don't know why this is, but I've seen several videos and I've heard people talk about it, why you can't view Mars. It's kind of a blur, but you can see the rings on Saturn stuff, even through modern telescopes. And then, of course, do we even want to talk about the whole moon conspiracy? Because that is controversy in itself. I mean, I know Mythbusters, they put something out there and they said, what did they say? Something about you wouldn't be able to see the flag on the moon because it's so small and all that. People have viewed the moon for a long time and they've seen a lot of stuff up there. I mean, they haven't even seen the rovers or anything there. And it's so controversial. I believe we went to the moon. I don't believe we went to the moon on how they filmed it. Yeah, I'm right there with you on Bob. I know some people don't, but so Chris says what I saw back in 2015, the light were moving like in the motion. Okay. Is that new interview? I know Bob was going to do a new interview, right? I don't know if that Dan interview is his newest one. Let me screen capture this if this thing does not mess up. Because that's interesting. I know he put something out there, so I will keep it going as much as I can. I've been putting out a lot of shorts. It seems like shorts, if you guys have a YouTube channel and you're trying to grow it, I mean, I can give you tips. I know we're talking about UFO stuff, but there's a lot of things with YouTube very interesting. But shorts help you. Shorts help. They seem to reach the public better in YouTube than doing a video. Video can go viral and reach too, but shorts seem to help draw more people in too. So what's going on, Green Mountain? Appreciate you joining in. We're just chatting. I'm testing out some of this software. I thought I'd be able to share the screen, but I'm going to have to purchase this software. I'm going to get a better laptop because I want to share some stuff with you guys when I go live, and I have a couple people that want to chat with y'all too, that want to share their testimony stuff. So maybe I'll have 2 or 3 people on here. I know you can do it. I just can't do it what I'm working with now. So India took pictures of the landing sites 11 and 12 from orbit. I wonder, are those out there? Can you put a link? I think you can put links in here. You should be able to. That would be interesting to see that. Landing sites 11 and 12. I have to check up on that. I just say that when they landed, Neil Armstrong got off and he was filmed and he was talking and he was communicating back. You know, they say we have more and better technology. Why my cell phone's not showing? There we go. And our cell phones than they had in those rockets that were taking them up there, all the Apollo missions and stuff. I mean, the processing power on our phones are more powerful. So that means we can reconstruct our phones to go to the moon. Then there's people that talk about we couldn't get out the atmosphere because of XYZ. So got a lot of these comments coming. I'm trying to make sure I get to these. Here we go. Have you looked into memberships and creating some emojis for those who support you? I've seen, yeah, I have it out there. I haven't promoted it. So guys, one thing about my channels, and I'll put this out here, I wouldn't mind sponsorship, promoting it and all that. But I think, well, I'm not thinking. For me, it's more important to do the videos and put them out there because I do like doing them. When I was a kid, I watched Unsolved Mysteries, Sightings, and all that. And I just enjoy doing it. Now, I do need to make longer formatted videos. They need to be at least 8 minutes long. Sometimes it's hard to, I could drag those videos on for 8 to 10 to 12 minutes, but I think I would lose interest personally if someone's talking about the same thing and they're dragging it on and on and on just to extend the video out. So I try not to do that. I know I may have to if I want to grow this channel. And then even with the memberships and stuff, there is a mild membership out there, but I don't do a lot of behind the scenes things, at least not yet for that. And of course, I have t-shirts, I have apparel and all that, but I try not to promote it because I don't want to make this a buy my stuff channel or I'm doing this so you need to pay me channel. I don't even do it on my RC channel. I mean, I got t-shirts out there when I go to events. People ask me, am I selling shirts and all that? And I just kind of come to the event just to socialize with the people and stuff. I probably should because it'd be a lot different, but I also don't want to get into the I'm trying to sell you guys on this and pay me money and all that because sometimes maybe people can think they have ownership when they do that. Not saying that you guys will, but that's sometimes how I feel. And I don't want to make it like a buy my stuff every time, you know, and I don't know. That's just me though. I probably should do it. And there is memberships out there. But if I do a membership, then I need to give people what they want when they have a membership, like behind the scenes, talking about stuff. I have a membership with the RC car channel, but I don't do that much. I think I've got several members and I've put videos out like, hey, whoever comments on this video first gets this RC car, and they haven't commented. So I was like, well, no one's commenting. So yep, that is true. NASA can build space rockets, but they have a space force. And there's just so much going on. I just wish that we could get another Bob Lazar whistleblower. Someone who comes out and talks about it, says what he says, but also has something to keep him safe. I think since he's got element 115 and he took some of that, he will never talk about it anymore. But I think that's kept him safe. But we need more Bob Lazar whistleblowers. You know, David and all of them that come out. That's cute. But, you know, come out with something, you know, talk about something that's gonna be revealed later on. That's why I say I believe Bob Lazar. Some people say he may have heard some stuff that he talked about, but his stories remain the same. He may have had a slightly variance in certain things or something like that, but it's remained the same. And everything he's talked about from element 115 to the way the craft fly, especially the real extraterrestrial craft fly, and several other things, makes total sense. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw where he talked about they turned one of the what he called the reactors on. They pointed a candle and it was lit, and the candle was flickering. And when they turned it, it stopped flickering, but the candle wick was still burning. And he just was blown away by that stuff. So we need more whistleblowers like him. Not this, well, I can talk about it, but I need a skirt to talk about it, or, in secrecy. No, just come out and say it. I mean, Bob did it, and he's still doing good right now. So it's Chris said the UAP. That's the UAP you saw. He said was over Walmart. Okay, in Oklahoma. Yeah, I said we need to start getting these chapters together in different states. I don't know who can run it. I don't really have the time to, but it'd be interesting to get these chapters together. People start talking about what they see, going out in groups on maybe weekend nights and stuff, or weekday nights, and seeing what they can find and film. This I've been working on my channel, and yeah, shorts do help, but mine's just about asteroid mining. Yeah, you can probably mix in and do a lot of stuff if you're going to do that. I mean, some key things you can try to do is, replicate titles that are out there. If you're doing asteroids, I would type in YouTube, asteroid to asteroid mining, and then do a search on the top videos or the top view videos and see what people are doing for their titles and see people doing for their thumbnails. And that can probably help you with your channel. With shorts, they don't have to be the whole minute. I'd say make them 30 seconds, make them 10 seconds. In some cases, the short, the better, because if it's short and it gets the point across quick, I think you nailed what you need to do, and then more people are going to view it. And the view duration will be longer. They'll be like, oh, you had a 35-second short and people viewed up to 29 seconds of it. And that's going to be a 98% view rate. And then YouTube's going to promote it. So it's things like that that's probably going to help. And that's anybody else who's got YouTube out there. I didn't want to talk about YouTube, but if you guys want to talk about that, we can. If you want to ask me questions, I'm not like a pro on it, but I've just been learning just a lot about it and trying to incorporate that in what I do. But I just need to allocate more time to it. But I know that there's certain things that they look at and they do, and it's a hit or miss until you hit it. And then once you hit it, it like picks up and it keeps promoting. But you also have to keep putting out good content too. What's going on? Coming in, True from Australia. Appreciate you joining in. We're just kind of talking and yapping. I'm testing out some more of the software. They said they did an upgrade on StreamYard. This is still their free version before I upgrade to a paid version. I thought I'd be able to share my screen, but it's not letting me. But I wanted to chat with you guys for a minute, see how things are going, and we could talk about UFOs for a minute. It's storming here in Georgia, on and off. So Jay Groot, something's definitely going on. I live in Michigan in 2023. The government shut down a UAP. Yeah, that's the stuff that needs to be. And this is what I need you guys to help on. Stuff like this, I'll have to go back to this video and look up some of this stuff to see kind of what's going on, because one person, I guess, in the public eye can't see everything and doesn't know everything. But you guys together, we find out stuff like this. I don't know if anybody else heard what he's talking about here. That's kind of why I'm putting these comments on the screen. So if you heard something about that, put a comment down. What's going on, Jess? Appreciate you joining in. Okay, you get that link and put that out there. I'll try to make sure it's disabled. I'm doing this all through StreamYard, so it is kind of limiting me on what I'm doing here, but I'll figure this out at some point. Yeah, I'll get that going, the testimonies and stuff soon. Look it up. Okay, we'll do. It's just sometimes I don't spend enough time trying to figure this thing out. I need to tonight. I mean, I got a couple of days where I'm kind of able to do it, working on some different video formats and stuff. So Jesse says, screw emojis. Truth says, I was at a local park with my son. He pointed to the sky as he does to spot planes. Thought it was a plane at first, maybe a trick of light. It didn't have wings at all, cigar shape. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know about the cigar shape. I watched the Above Majestic, and it actually talked about some cigar-shaped UFOs. It was interesting what they talked about with it. They said the cigar-shaped UFOs were basically some of the first interstellar craft that we created. He said because they're modular in design, meaning that you could take, this is not really showing my hands, to cut my hands off, but just think about a submarine being a cigar shape. And they said it was modular in design, meaning that you could take the front and the back end off and have the middle piece and make it short, long. They were already airtight, and they were able to put those into space. And then I heard that's kind of where Gene Roddenberry created Star Trek. That's where he started getting his thoughts and ideas for Star Trek Enterprise and, the USS Enterprise and stuff. But I heard about some of the cigar-shaped UFOs were built by the Nazis. They had some kind of reactor in it. And Boyd Bushman talked about that in the interview. He showed whoever that guy was who was interviewing, he showed a weird something, and he told the guy that this could fly. Now, the guy who was interviewing couldn't believe that what Boyd Bushman had showed him could fly, but I think it was more or less a reactor or something that goes inside the craft that does something to the craft to help it fly. But with the cigar-shaped ones, people say that they are some of the ones were the first ones that we use for interstellar travel. So if you can, watch the movie Above Majestic. The first 15 minutes of it, you can find it on YouTube too. The first 15 minutes of it's really good. Then it starts getting into some stuff that I'm still having a hard time trying to believe about people living on other planets and, all that. I'm still having a hard time grasping that, because if I was someone who would do space travel and live on another planet, if I was going to go from here and go something that's 100 light years away or something, it's just the time frame. By the time I get there and come back, time is going to pass by, because we know as you kind of move out and how gravity works stuff, time kind of ceases to exist or it slows down. We know that as kind of a fact. So I think about this somewhat, as far as the time and stuff and people living on different planets. But it does get into that, and it gets into a lot of other things too, not just UFO. But if you can, check it out. It's called Above Majestic. Yeah, includes God. I do have in all the descriptions, people can donate to the channel if they want. I don't want to be the one to ask you guys for that every time. I really don't. I feel if you like the content, subscribing and commenting is more than enough, and liking and sharing, because that's gold to me. I mean, the donations and stuff, that's fine. And people can do it. People have bought some of the t-shirts that I have, especially I'm actually wearing one now. You can't really see it. But I don't promote it. I probably should a little more, because it probably would draw a small crowd over and all that. But I would rather grow the channel more and then let people see it and want to do it than me kind of advertise it. That makes sense. I got some more people joining in. I'm going to try to, hey, what's going on? I'm going to try to make sure I go through all these comments. I like the way they display the comments on here, so that's a good thing. I think I have to update the features to share the screen. I know I have to do that to invite guests on. So yeah, I thought about the Discord. People have asked me about that before too. I think it's just me allocating time to go in, research, get that set up, and do all that. So True said he watched it for a while, left the spawn at home, then a real plane came into view and was headed towards a collision course with the UAP. The plane had the hard bank right to avoid collision. Huh. I wonder if those pilots will come out and report what they saw. Yeah, that TRC. People were kind of, I think a couple people were not upset about, or were a little bit upset about the TR6 that I showed the other day. That's saying that this is man-made. Now I put that in the title just to draw people on to look at that video and comment on it. The guy that put that site out, there's only several sites out there that have that, and that is interesting, to say the least. Now, whether that's a true thing or not, I don't know, because even the guy that shot the video in Texas of that boomerang-shaped UFO, there was nothing around it to show the shape or anything. I think if I had shot that, it wouldn't have been as clear. I know he said he shot it at night, but I would have been shaking a little bit more. There was no audio to it. And I would have followed it. Anybody that would shoot anything like that, they would follow it to the end. Unless, of course, their phone died. I wish they could say that, but yeah, Green Mountain, I'm there with you too. I've always believed Bob Lazar when he came out. I remember when he first came out in '89. I remember seeing some of this stuff, and no one knew about Area 51. I didn't know about it. I mean, even as a kid, I didn't know about it. But when he talked about it, all of a sudden, bam, people were coming there. Then they started restricting the air. They started getting more and more space to restrict out. So those are some of the things. The area 51. He worked in the S4 division, of course. There's element 115 he talked about. Then he talked about the way some of the UFOs fly, especially the sport model he worked on. He even talked about when he saw the sport model, you know, his first thoughts of it and all that. And he said it had an upside down American flag on it. And they had posters everywhere saying they're here. They showed the craft like levitating off the ground. So it's a lot of stuff like that. And that's where the ARV concepts came from. And he said they brought him in to kind of reverse engineer the craft, but do it with earthly materials, which would be difficult to do unless they're doing like they do with the ARV. And I still have yet to put that video about the ARV. I put a short out earlier about the ARV and how it functioned, but how some of the ARVs or alien reproduction vehicles function, they're basically a big Tesla coil. And when I put that video out, you'll find out a little bit more about it. I mean, they create a lot of electricity. I think they said over 1 million volts or something with it. And the way they are flown and constructed is very interesting. That's why I said, I believe Billy Myers saw something. He has 1 or 2 photos that they have not been able to disprove. Now, the video's completely different. And he did have some other stuff that he put out there that people, books and stuff like that. But I do believe he saw something. I don't believe that everything he put out there is true. I mean, that's just me. Some of the video footage and stuff, I just don't believe. But what he saw probably was an ARV up close. He probably saw it once or twice. And, you know, from that point, we won't say too much else about that. We'll wait for the video. We'll put it that way. After the plane had banked hard. Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know what kind of plane was it. He was saying basically him and his son saw the UFO. He pointed up to it, and it was going, and a plane was coming to it in the bank. The plane had a hard bank right. I wonder, was it a commercial flight? Was it a commercial plane? 747, 757? Okay, he watched this throughout the atmosphere. Okay. Okay, MJ, I'm not sure it is, but I will definitely check that out. I have to do it after this show, after we end up out here, because I have to go back and find out, look at these comments. So no problem on that. Yeah, they are. It's a lot going on with this. I see you. I'm going to try to get, I'm going to get to everybody's, I'm not even going to say, I'm going to get to everybody's comments. I want to make sure that we speak with each other and talk with each other. This going live is about you guys. So yeah, George, it's just rained a lot here. I mean, I'm in Georgia, so it's not really doing too much. I think we're just going to have rain for the next couple of days. So I'm not in Florida or anything like that. So we just have a lot of rain coming down, but it subsided now. So it's not raining right now. The power goes out. Guess we get in the hotel. Appreciate your concern on that. I appreciate that, Ray. I'm trying to keep this going. So I know that some of my stuff is controversial, what I put out there. Some people don't like it, but I just want to expose to you guys everything that I'm seeing and everything I'm hearing about. And I want to get your input. You know, a lot of this stuff, 99% of stuff I don't know about. And I know that some of you guys out there have did a lot more research than I have. So I'm not going to say I'm researching everything and I'm the guru of this. I would never say that. But I'm very open to comments, suggestions, open to video suggestions. I know there's several things you guys want me to do. I have one. Hopefully, I can get that done in the next couple of days, I think, on some different alien beings. People have talked about Skinny Bob again, and that's video footage from 30, 40, 50 years ago. But people said it moved like a puppet. But they got to understand there's a couple of things that could be going on with that video and with that character. And I've heard, of course, we're thinking that something's going to move like us when it's not. I mean, you can look at our physical anatomy and see that our physical bodies would be superior to something like that. I mean, we come in all different sizes and shapes, and we can increase our body mass and endurance at the will that we want. You know, we can work out and get bigger and stronger. I have never seen any gray or any of the Ebians or whatever everybody's defining as something else. I have never seen that were built. You know, I've never seen that look strong. They always got kind of a frail body. I did hear somebody say that some of them were robotically controlled. Stephen Greer put out in one of his conferences or whatever, he said that one of the guys was in a pickup truck, a UFO landed, one of those came out and he kicked it and it fell over and it opened up and it had circuits in the side of it. Maybe that was a robot, but I've also heard people talk about when they met these grays, they walked funny and people laughed at the way they walked. And since they were kind of telepathic, they could sense and feel what they were saying and thinking it was an insult to them. So to say that the Skinny Bob video, I think that video is real. I've always thought it was real. Just the way it moved. I know some people try to debunk it. I still think that video is real. I still think that people don't they look at it from um, a different set of eyes to try to make it seem like it's false. That's the best way I can put it. So, how you doing, Colleen? I appreciate you joining in. Yeah, we're testing out this live again. I thought I was able to use this software to share my screen because I did want to share something with you guys, but I'm not able to. But I'm gonna get it right. I'll get this right. So, having my first wild aircraft moment for the past 40 minutes. My roommate came out and saw and doesn't care. It's still up there. Are you seeing a UFO? What state are you in? Let us know if you guys are in her area. I think she's seeing something out here, and we need to all get it because it's raining here, so I couldn't see anything even if I tried. Paranormal Apocalypse channel has some good videos. Okay, I'll check them out. And I mean, this channel was not just to do UFO stuff. I was gonna do some paranormal stuff. Um, I wanted to do it all stuff with ghosts. I was gonna go to a Skinwalker Ranch at one point, but I don't know about that. But here's calling two lights floating around in and out of clouds, skipping motion going around. I hope you are filming some of this. You know, if you have to film it, come back and let us know what state are you in. I'm seeing the comments, so I'm trying to get to it because there's some other people that could be in your area that want to get out and see what you're looking at. So I've been lucky to have 3 UFO sightings. Nice. The last one was a matte black Lazar-shaped craft at a height of about 300 feet. Oh, it did a slow roll, and I'm in Western Australia. Oh, dang. So carry your phone with you next time. Just walk around with it on. If your battery dies, it dies. But hopefully you'll get something. Colleen said, right now, oh my God, hi, how are you? No, where are you at? We're trying to, you said you see something out there. So let us know where you're at. Put your state, city. You ran and said, let us know where you're at. So somebody else out there can go out there and film it. Yeah, they are ours and they are real. Oh shoot, show that. I'm trying to hide that. Yeah, try to, yeah. If you're scared, let us know. She's seeing a UFO or something outside, so we're trying to get some information of where she's at. YouTube has a documentary called UFOs Unleashed. It's interesting. Okay, I will definitely check that out. I started doing movie reviews at some point, but it became a lot, but maybe I'll start doing them every Monday. So Colleen, we need you to stop being on live. And I'm not gonna be rude, but I'm gonna be rude. You need to go out there and record it. If you're take some photos or something, you know, I'm glad you joined and I hope you come back. But I would rather for you to go out there right now and get some photos and get some video of what you're seeing. I don't care if they're blurry. I do have software that can make them or enhance them. I'm not going to make them look like, but enhance it. So go out there and film it. I mean, you've commented several times, so we need you to go out there and film this. And we need to know where you're at. Put your city, state, where you're at. So someone else on here may be in an area and they may can go out there and see it too. So we need that. I mean, this is the stuff that that people need. I mean, if you're seeing something, let us know because we all need to see it. Or go ahead and record it and then come back and then email it over to me and I'll do a video tonight. Whatever you send, I'll say she saw this is in this area and let us know because other people probably want to see it too. So I appreciate that, man. I try to keep you guys up to date. I don't know if I flood you sometimes with too many videos. So I kind of subside back. But I think at this point, the way I'm going, I just need to put videos out. When I see it, I want to do it, get it out there. If they're short, they're short. If they're long, they're long. I don't think you guys disagree with too many of the videos I put out there. So I'll keep that going. as much as I can. I know some people say the views are up, they're low, they're down, this and that, but at some point in time, it'll hit. There's a lot of little small things I want to touch up on, and I still want to get into some of the paranormal stuff too at some point. Hopefully, Colleen's out there taking photos and videos, y'all, and coming back in and telling us this. So, yeah, Chris, the UAPs are. I think that it may be a conscious thing too. You know, with social media, we know how social media is out here. I think that the more it comes out, the more desensitized we're getting to it. And I think there's a meeting in November with Congress. So the more that's talked about and discussed, the better this will be. So I think that is the conscious thing too. And somebody, hopefully Colleen's out this, will get some good video footage. You know, I hardly see anything here in Georgia. They keep saying go North Georgia and stuff, or I don't see anything, but somebody's gonna get it. I hope it's me. Because y'all know if I get some video footage, I'm out there. You know, and I'll meet people everywhere and I'll share the information and all that. I have no problem with that at all. Especially if I get some good clear footage. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're trying. I'm gonna keep going, and I can only grow with you guys' help. So, and that's kind of another reason why I don't promote too much with selling the t-shirts, which I have on the channel, and all that stuff, because I want you guys to come here and not think I'm trying to sell you something. No matter how good or bad a video is, I'm just trying not to sell you guys on something. Like I said, you guys subscribing, commenting, liking or disliking, sharing the videos is gold to me. So. Oh, that's all right, Chris. Keep talking about it. Yeah, there you go. Get out there. Hopefully she's out there. I don't see her in any of the comments right now. So hopefully she's out there. She's not scared and she's filming and she can get a couple photos and she can email them over to me, and I'll share them with you guys. Um, she can email them to me. And if you guys want some of the footage, I can forward it over to you. It's not like I'm masking my email address, and we can all look at this together. And if she gets some really good footage, I need to go ahead and purchase this software so that I can share this with you guys. It'd be good if, oh, well, she probably wouldn't have been able to share because even if I did have it, I wouldn't be able to send her over and share it. But yeah, we need her to get out there though. Yeah, I mean it's been out there for a long time. I've did some shorts on it about some Renaissance paintings and all that. It's definitely been out there for a while. I know as far as the biblical perspective, it's a lot different. It's not what people are thinking it is with that. Like Ezekiel's will and stuff, he saw something a little different. It wasn't so much of a UAP or a UFO with that. And even the History Channel is kind of they're getting pretty touchy with that. They're trying to say the Israelites were led by a UFO or UAP, and they weren't. So very controversial. I have a video coming up on that, and people will probably hate that video when I put it out, but it needs to be touched up on, needs to be talked about with that. But there's definitely stuff in a lot of the ancient texts about UFOs, UAPs, what people have seen, a lot of the drawings from Egypt, the Egyptian hieroglyphics and stuff, that shows a lot of stuff in there. I think the people that were trying to translate or whatever are not doing it correctly. And they're still hiding a lot of stuff from us. So first sighting was two silver orbs at extremely height during a solar eclipse. And that's so interesting they come around a solar eclipse, right? I didn't see any this year, and I didn't hear any reports of any UFO. I think people were looking for a UFO during the solar eclipse this year, and we didn't see anything. So those were on opposite sides of the sky. Everyone was concentrating on the sun. I decided to take a look on the opposite way. Man, I wish you would have recorded that. Yeah, we're waiting for her to come back. So she hasn't come back yet. So we're gonna stay on until she comes back. I want to hear what she saw, where she's at. So if you guys are just joining, Colleen said she saw something out there. She was saying she was kind of scared. She came inside. I think she said it was triangular shape or something. But we told her to get off, go film it, go take some photos, do something. We'll miss her for this go live, but I think it's worth missing her. So hopefully she can come back. I was telling her to put her location down, but she didn't do it just yet. So yeah, that's true. I'm still curious about that Florida mall incident though, too. Um, you don't have that many cops out there for a team fight or even a gang fight. I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. Trying to make sure I put you guys' comments up. So we're waiting for Miss Colleen to come back. Not sure what to think about that too much. I don't want to talk out with just not knowing 100% about that, but that's something I'll come back to, and maybe I'll do a video on. Maybe I'll do it and put it out there to see what see some of the research I find on it. That's a pretty good dream. I've had some very symbolic dreams too. I had a dream, shoot, 10, 15 years ago. I was walking outside. It was during the day, and I looked up and I saw a dish-shaped UFO, and it was silver reflect off the sun, and it flew like over the bridge, and then it disappeared. It flew over the bridge, but it made me when it flew over the bridge, it made me look down to the ground. When I looked down to the ground, I saw two lions. I saw a male lion and a female lion. They were talking to each other. Don't know what they were saying, but what made it even more interesting was is they were talking to each other in front of this weird bush. And even though the lions were talking, I was paying more attention to the weird bush. I was like, that is just the funniest looking bush in the world. Couldn't believe how weird it looked. And then the lions were still talking, and then the bush started to move. And when the bush moved, it lifted up, and it was a hyena. It was like the main neck of a hyena. And from that point, I woke up from the dream. So what that means, I don't know. But I know when I looked up and saw the UFO, it flew over a bridge, but it flew towards where the two lions were talking. It was a male lion, a female lion, but they were talking in front of this weird bush. And the bush was the mane of a hyena. It was huge. The hyena was huge because the lions were regular size, but they were GI Joe size compared to the hyenas. So yes, they have all cool things. And I'm trying to do some videos on that. It's kind of hard with some of the images being copyrighted and stuff. So it's kind of difficult to put that out there unless I distort the images or something. There's ways to go about doing it, but I would love to just dig in and do an hour-long video of just all that. I mean, but it's just hard to get some of that out there just with some of the information. I think I have to cite everything I put out there or something when I put in the video. So you're saying some of the stuff didn't originate here? Trying to get to this. We're gonna see if Colleen comes back on too. Trying to get to all you guys' comments to show it. All right, Clues. Appreciate you joining in. Yeah, it's about 10:45 here, so I won't be on too much longer. We're just waiting to see if Colleen's gonna come back on or not. Yeah, that's true. Who was the guy, Brother Yarbrough or whatever, who could summon UFOs or something? And he went out there, and man, I hope she didn't get abducted. I think she's reached out to me before, just in chat and stuff. So we'll give her a few minutes to see if she comes back. She can always reach me in email and stuff, but I wish she had put what area she was in, because I think that would have helped. So if someone else was close to the area in that city, they could have went outside and saw what she saw. I have not heard of the Council of Five, formerly the Council of Seven, and even Nine. I have not. You have to educate me on that. We hope not. If she got abducted, she's gonna be gone for a minute, y'all. Now maybe she'll come back to this. Trying to. So we hope she didn't get abducted. So hopefully she will come back if she. I knew it. Okay, Hecklefish. You guys watch the Wi-Fi, you know what I'm talking about. That's the Hecklefish. That's the Hecklefish joke right there. I'm hoping she's gonna come back in the next few minutes. Um, you guys that are just joining, I know it's about 15 of you on. Someone on this who was on the live stream saw a UFO and they kept coming back and forth and telling us about it. So we told them to get off and film it, shoot some video, do something. If she's been filming it for this long, she's got some good footage. But I just wanted to know where she was at because someone else may be in her area. So yeah, they need to come down and prevent a lot of other stuff too. I mean, it's some crazy stuff happening. If you knew some of the stuff that was going on in the world and just oh my gosh, it's a lot that needs to be done, but it's just something I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean, Chris. Do the aliens gods are well, maybe the members are getting older, or maybe they're trying to narrow it down because too many mouths or too many eyes is too much to get out there. So they I don't know about this group you're talking about, but maybe that's what it is. So I know, Adam, we're all kind of waiting to see. Um, I'm going to try to stay on, but these are some of her comments. She said she ran inside because she's chicken, and that was at 10:26, and it's 10:49 now. She said, "Right now, oh my God, hi, how are you? Glad to see you, and sorry for interrupting." No, we wanted you to interrupt. I'm just going back through her comments. She says, two lights going around in and out of the clouds, skipping motion going on. I think she said her roommate saw it, and her roommate went back inside or something. She said she was having her first weird aircraft movement for the past 40 minutes. So this is something that she needs to record because no one's going to believe it happened if she's been seeing this for 40 minutes and didn't get out and take a photo or record it. So this is kind of the stuff we're talking about, y'all. We're waiting for her to come back. So, and I don't think she's come back yet. She has not. He says she's still signed in. I can't see who's signed in because I'm just posting it here. So we'll give her a few more minutes. Yeah, I've heard about some of the deals we've made with them through documentaries and stuff like that, that they could abduct some of us and conduct experiments as long as they erased our memories and put us back. So that's an interesting thing right there too, that someone would even allow that. So there's Hecklefish again. It says she's still on. Someone sees that she's still on here. So I can't see through this StreamYard who's on. I can't do a lot of things to this. I thought I'd be able to do. If you can, email those over to me. I'd love to at least put those on a channel, even if it's just for part of the end of a video. Oh, you lost the picture. You say you took 3 photos in a row. Yeah, send me over what you got. So, okay, she's gone now. So I don't know. Maybe she'll email me. What's going on? Maybe she'll email me in just a minute. If you guys are just joining, we had somebody on there talking about they saw something outside and watching it for 40 minutes. So we're all like, why are you on here? You got 40 minutes of footage you can record. We're trying to see if she'll come back on. We'll give her just a few more minutes. I do have to get off of here, but all cool things. So the memory racer wasn't their idea, it was our government's idea, which is why they used to do such terrible jobs. Now they can't even buy. Yeah, I can see that happening. Chris says, "Do we come from aliens?" I don't believe we do. So that's me 100%. I know there's some information out there stating that we do, but it's also stuff that kind of goes against it. So I don't know if you want to hear my 2 cents on that, but The last floor in Area 51 that belongs to the aliens in the documentary. I'll have to check that out because I've heard of Area 51 being 100 stories. I'm like, that's huge. That's 100 stories deep. And I heard they started doing stuff underground. They got tunnels underground and all that. So UFO Stalker says nobody has any UFO stories. A couple people were mentioning some stuff. I'm not sure how long you've been on. I know it'd be a lot to type out um, about a UFO story, but I could read it off if you guys type it out so you don't have to read it. I mean, I've heard of one or two, but they were just stories of people, just random people talking. Some guy said he was down in you guys know where Tennessee is, Lookout Mountain. Have you ever been there? But it's really dark at night. It's a dark area. He said he was driving on the side of the road, really dark. He had to go to the bathroom, got out the car to take a leak, and he was like, "Man, the moon is bright." And he looked up, and it wasn't the moon. He said it was, as he said, a white ball that was huge, and it hovered there for a quick second, and it shot off. And he said it startled him so much he peed on himself because he thought it was the moon. Because when he was driving, everything else was dark. If you guys ever been to an area where there's no city lights, it's pitch black. I mean, it's really dark. So that's one story that I know. I know a couple other ones, but I remember him just stating that, and I was like, "Oh." And we were all just having some drinks and stuff. So he just looked at us like, "I'm not lying." I looked at I didn't say you were. So I think sometimes people tell these stories, people think they're lying, and they leave it at that. I know some ghost stories too. If you guys want to hear some of that, some of the stuff is kind of supernatural. I thought it was interesting. I knew some Haitian people, so there you go. Yeah, I think we're all waiting to see if Colleen comes back. I think that's the hype of this go live. I have a few stories. Well, if you want to type one out, Jesse, I'll definitely read it out. What's going on? Appreciate you joining in. You have a story. Let us hear it. We're waiting for Miss Colleen to come back. If she's still there, I mean, 40 minutes of watching a UFO, I would have recorded that. I would be live on YouTube right now. I wouldn't be live doing this. I'd be live. It'd be all blurry. To start to have another phone filming it. I would definitely be live. Post some stuff to you. Let me see. I don't think this will let me. Sometimes this will let me let somebody go live, and it's not letting me do it. So apologies about that. Because sometimes you can share the live with somebody that's not letting me do it. So, but you can do a voice instead of typing it in. Just hit the microphone on the text part and just talk it. Just talk it out. Like if you were going to do a voice to text, do the same thing with this. Yeah, I heard about this two moons thing. I got to look at that. I just saw that earlier. That's pretty interesting. Talking about we're going to have two moons. Like, where's the second moon coming from? And are people going to say that's Planet X? You know, there's going to be some theories that's coming out too. But I heard about that two moon thing, and I got to look into that because it's like, where did this come from? I mean, if we're supposed to have 8, 9 planets in our solar system, you know, we got one moon and we got another ones. If we have a second moon coming, there is going to be some natural disasters that's going to happen because of the gravitational pull of this second moon coming in. And how's it going to interact with our moon? I've never heard of that in the history of mankind. So meet you in Discord. You tell me the story. Okay, bet. So Ricky says he's seen 3 orbs in Florida. Mine's me and my brother, and we were in the backyard talking, and everything went silent. Then out of nowhere, this blue orb cleared. We were along in a small lake we seen there. So he saw 3 orbs in the sky. I've seen that. Was the bluish white? I've seen a bluish white orb before. I don't know if you guys know. I did in one of my other videos. I went live. I talked about. I was with a friend upstairs in a room. We were talking and chatting, and hour later, we were walking outside. And as we walked outside, there was a bluish white orb. That's the closest I could say because the color wasn't even bluish white. It was like a bluish white. and it was bright. And when I looked up, it was right above the window too. It shot off. And I said, "Oh my gosh, did you see that?" She thought I was crazy. And I still remember to this day, that happened over 15 years ago when I saw that. So I believe you when you say that, because what I saw was, it was like a bluish white. It was so bright. It's like it was almost too bright to be white or something. It was interesting. So I've seen that before. If we've seen the same thing. Howard says, I've seen 3 huge cigar-shaped craft in DC area in the early 80s during rush hour with thousands of commuters. First wife saw it too. Man, only if we had dash cams back then or something, right? Oh, limited life potential. Okay. Has anybody seen Colleen come back in the comments? I don't think we have. Oh wow, he saw the flesh out the water and everything. Okay. All cool things are saying this second moon is a small asteroid that will pass in about 50 days on its way across the solar orbit. Well, I wonder how close it's going to pass the Earth. And you know, they're going to have a big controversy about it. Hopefully, we have no more of those cult things coming up. Because I remember that from what was that, the 90s, when that huge comet passed in front of the Earth? And was it Hell's Gate? Or was that what it was? The guy that had 50 people that committed suicide. That was just crazy. And I remember seeing that asteroid was huge. So hopefully we don't have another incident like that coming up with people. So y'all, we were waiting on Colleen. I was trying to give her about an hour into this. She has not come back. So it's just too far and too small away. We won't see it. So it's funny how they're mentioning 2 moons and getting this whole thing out, but you just told us, and we'll have to look onto this, that it'll be too small for us to see. So it's not going to affect anything on the Earth, but I'm pretty sure they'll have some photos of it. Y'all want to hear I got 2 creepy ghost stories. Well, I say spiritual stories if you guys want to hear it. Yeah. I've seen a couple of things. I've seen them more or less kind of quick flashing by, but I've mentioned in some of my go lives before. I just mentioned one story with a friend of mine. When I was a kid, I remember I was sitting, this was in the 80s. I was sitting in my room counting stars, and I was like, wow, those stars keep moving. And they kept moving. They kept moving around. At that time, I didn't know they were UFOs. And then I went back out the next night, and I saw them again, but they were in a different position. But the stars were moving, like just slowly moving around, slowly moving around. It was late at night. I've seen the same thing with my friend, about 20 years ago. We were standing outside and we looked up and we said, man, those stars are bright. The stars formed a huge circle. And we were like, are you kidding me? And I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even think about taking my phone out and filming it. It probably would have got the most worst footage you'd ever seen. But we sat there and watched it. I mean, we watched it for a while and then we just walked away like, okay, we're thinking that maybe satellite, something like that. So I've seen certain things like that. I haven't seen one where I can visibly say in the daytime, I've seen a craft in the daytime, but I've seen a lot of stuff at night. Okay, we will do that. There's a lot of comments coming in, so I'm trying to get to this. And if we get to some stories, I will tell that too. While we're on there, it was blue and bright. Yeah, the one I saw was like a bluish white. It was just bright, and it shot off so quick. I mean, you could blink and it probably been across the world or something. That's how fast it was. So yours is 15 feet away from you. Oh, that's too far. Yeah, we won't see that. The hell about cult? Was that the name of the cult that did that thing in the 1980s? Was it late 80s, early 90s? I think it was late 80s they did that. Might have been the early 90s. So Marshall Applewhite. I'm not sure. I might have missed something. So Howard said is BS. Yeah. Well, fear destroys a lot of things, people's dreams and everything. Trying to make sure. Yeah, I think Colleen is gone. Let me check to make sure she didn't email me or anything. Because if she did, I have to get off of here and post up what she saw. We won't be on here too much longer. 2 emails. I didn't get anything from her, so nope, nothing from her. From other people, but not from her. Yeah, that's yep. Heaven's Gate, early '90s. So because the Simpsons did something on that, they were so wrong for that too. So I have 2 stories if I can remember. I'll tell you about them. Well, I can remember them now because now I think about it. If you guys want to hear them, one is about you guys remember about 10 years ago when the bath salts or salt bath drug was kind of becoming popular, where they were talking about the bath salts and stuff. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. But there was a friend who was Haitian. So you guys heard that the guy was on the bath salt and he went crazy and he kind of attacked the bum and ate part of his face and stuff. So I remember talking to my friend about that. He was Haitian and he laughed. And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Are you kidding me? You really believe that?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" Because the news had put it out there. And at that time I was just like, well, there's no explanation for it. He said what happened was the guy who attacked the bum, he had went to a witch doctor and he asked the witch doctor for they do like a certain thing where it's 7 years of good luck, 7 years of bad luck, where you'll have 7 years of complete prosperity or whatever, and then 7 years of just you're going through Hades. But when the witch doctor cast the spell on him, he did it wrong and he did it wrong on purpose. He said, so what transpired was it was exactly 1 year to that date. And the spirit that was in this guy came up. And that's why he went crazy like that. And he attacked the bum and ate part of his face. And they couldn't even find the flesh in his stomach. And my friend was saying, well, what do you think happened? The spirit left. And that's why the flesh, they couldn't find the flesh from the guy's face. And he said the reason why the witch doctor did that was because the guy who came to him liked the girl that the witch doctor liked. And the witch doctor wanted him completely out the way. And that was one way of doing it. He didn't know that the witch doctor liked the girl. He was just kind of dating the girl. And I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, that's what happened. And he also told me another story because we were talking about, people that sell narcotic products. And he lived in Florida. And he said he always would see the narcotic dealers going out in the morning and they would just have narcotic products to sell. And he said one night he stayed up late at night to see what was going on. And he said he looked out his window and he saw a Casper like spirit floating down the street, dropping pieces of narcotic products. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's what he was telling me. He said the next morning they would get out and they would pick those up and they would go sell them. He said some of the drug dealers would do like a weird dance or something at night, and that would let the spirit come out and do that. So 2 weird stories. He's got a lot more that he shared with me, but I thought those were very interesting. I always thought about that when he told me about it. Going through these, y'all. I think Colleen is gone, y'all. I don't see her anywhere in the comments. Closest place I can go activity is Wright County because of light. Yeah. I think if you get to an area where there's no lights or very few, you'll be able to see a little bit more. Yep, Heaven's Gate was the name of that one. So yeah, it was tracking the uphill by comedy. Yep. It's coming to memory a little bit of that stuff. So White was a cult leader. Yeah, he had to be pretty strong to have those people believing that. Yeah, I don't think Colleen's coming back. I think she's hopefully getting some good footage. I haven't gotten an email from her. Yes, it is. It's very life-changing to have some of this stuff happen. So let me look that up real quick. Because you guys have said a couple things I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna type this out real quick because that's something I'll look at tonight. I'll look that up tonight. I was hoping Colleen was gonna come back up here, but she's not. The next live, I'm gonna try to do it next week. I'm gonna get some other stuff going. I want to figure out this StreamYard. I got some time Saturday and Sunday to try to figure out how to get this working, and so I can share my screen and go through some stuff. Because there's some videos I want to play and talk about with you guys as we go through it. So guys, I'm gonna end up out here. Where I try to wait for Colleen to come back on. She has not come back on. So we will end this right now. We're live for about an hour. I appreciate you guys joining in. And I will see you guys probably in about a week or so when we go live. And maybe we'll try to do this once day a week. I try not to do a designated day because I always don't make the designated day I go live with. So, yeah, Chris, things are getting pretty weird. I think they'll get weirder as stuff comes along. We got the whole election coming up. Um, Crypto's getting interesting. Money's getting interesting. People are getting interesting with social media and everything is kind of getting in. We'll see. When chaos starts to happen more, I think that's when we'll start getting some more of this UFO stuff revealed. So, okay, UFO stock. I think there might have been one I saw. I remember a couple of incidents where some rangers were in the woods. They saw something, and then another group came out that were not military. And yeah, I've heard several militaries. I was in the military too myself, so I've seen some stuff and heard some stuff in there too, which I'll have to share with you guys at some point in time. So I mean, I'm not in the military anymore, so. Yes, hit that thumbs up. We are out of here. I'm trying to make sure I got all these last few comments. Okay, I appreciate it. So, y'all, if I hear from her, I'll put a video of Colleen's UFO encounter. So I appreciate you guys joining on, and I'll see if I can get a hold of Colleen. I think I got her email address, so I'll see if I can get a hold of her.